Have you ever watched someone make a trade proposal so outrageously one-sided that you wondered if they were living in an alternate reality? Well, buckle up, because the Golden State Warriors just served up the basketball equivalent of asking to trade a ham sandwich for a five-course meal, and somehow expecting the other party to say yes with a smile. The Warriors, in their infinite wisdom, reportedly want Keegan Murray from the Sacramento Kings in exchange for Jonathan Kuminga. Let that sink in for a moment. They want a proven, ascending young star who fits perfectly into modern basketball for a player whose value has been steadily declining like a cryptocurrency during a market crash. Let's be brutally honest about Jonathan Kuminga's trajectory. 2 years ago, he was the shiny object every team coveted, a young athletic forward with tantalizing upside and multiple years left on his rookie contract. Fast forward to today, and we're looking at a completely different landscape. The magic has worn off, the mystery box has been opened, and what's inside isn't quite the treasure everyone hoped it would be. Jason Timp from The Volume didn't mince words when he dissected this situation on his Hoops Tonight podcast. Your chance to turn Jonathan Kuminga into real asset return was 2 years ago, he declared, and those words cut straight to the heart of Golden State's current predicament. They held onto Kaminga through his most valuable period, watching his trade stock fluctuate like a roller coaster, and now they're trying to cash in when the market has already spoken. The numbers tell a story that Warriors fans might not want to hear. Kaminga managed 15.3 points per game last season, which sounds respectable until you factor in the context. An ankle injury limited his effectiveness, and more damaging to his development, his role diminished significantly under Steve Kerr after Jimmy Butler's arrival at the trade deadline. When your own coach reduces your minutes during crucial development time, that sends a message to the entire league about your current value. On the flip side of this equation stands Keegan Murray, and the contrast couldn't be more stark. While Kaminga has been battling inconsistency and injury concerns, Murray has established himself as exactly the type of player every modern NBA team desperately wants, a versatile wing who can shoot, defend multiple positions, and contribute winning basketball from day one. Sure, Murray's numbers dipped last season to 12.4 points per game, but context matters enormously here. Sacramento underwent a coaching change midseason, replacing Mike Brown with Doug Christie, which inevitably disrupted rhythm and role definitions for every player on the roster. Despite this upheaval, Murray remained a crucial piece of the Kings' puzzle, demonstrating the kind of professional adaptability that front offices value immensely. The Warriors' interest in Murray isn't new. They've been circling him like sharks since July, when they also coveted Keegan Ellis during earlier negotiations. But here's the kicker. Sacramento made both players completely untouchable, according to Jason Anderson of the Sacramento Bee. When a team declares a player untouchable, they're essentially saying, this guy is foundational to our future, and no reasonable offer will pry him away from us. Let's break down why the Kings would laugh this proposal out of the building faster than a bad comedy act. Murray represents everything Sacramento wants in a young core player. He's proven improving and fits seamlessly into their timeline and system. Kaminga, meanwhile, represents a significant gamble on potential that may never materialize into consistent production. From a pure basketball perspective, Murray is simply operating in a different class. His shooting ability, defensive versatility, and basketball IQ make him the type of asset teams build around, not trade away for question marks. The Warriors asking for Murray in exchange for Kaminga is like asking a gourmet restaurant to trade their signature dish for a mystery meat special. It's insulting to everyone's intelligence. The financial aspects make this even more laughable. Murray is locked into a rookie-scale contract that provides tremendous value, while Kaminga's contract situation remains murky as training camp approaches. With less than a week before camp begins, Kaminga still hasn't agreed to terms with Golden State, creating uncertainty that only diminishes his trade value further. Speaking of training camp, the Warriors find themselves in an increasingly precarious position as September 30th approaches. Kaminga has until October 1st to accept the $8 million qualifying offer, And according to Mark Stein of the Stein Line, Golden State might open camp with a depleted roster if this situation isn't resolved quickly. This timeline pressure should theoretically motivate the Warriors to accept more reasonable trade proposals, but instead, they seem to be doubling down on unrealistic demands. Earlier reports suggested Sacramento offered Malik Monk plus a future first-round pick for Kaminga, a deal that most neutral observers would consider fair value. However, the Warriors reportedly balked at Monk's contract, which runs through the 2027-28 season, because it interferes with their goal of having cap space in the summer of 2027. The irony here is palpable. The Warriors are rejecting reasonable offers because of long-term cap considerations while simultaneously asking for Sacramento's most valuable young asset. It's the kind of contradictory thinking that makes front office executives across the league shake their heads in bewilderment. What we're witnessing here is a classic case of organizational delusion meeting market reality. The Warriors still see themselves as the championship dynasty they once were, expecting other teams to cater to their wishes and hand over premium assets for their spare parts. But the NBA doesn't work that way, especially when you're trying to trade a player whose value has been declining steadily. Sacramento has built something special with their young core, and Murray represents a cornerstone of that foundation. They're not going to dismantle their future to help Golden State solve their self-created problems. The Kings have learned from years of questionable decisions, and this proposed trade screams mistake from every conceivable angle. The Warriors' best path forward isn't chasing impossible dreams. It's accepting market value for Kaminga and focusing on maximizing what they can get from their remaining championship window. Holding out for unrealistic returns will only leave them empty-handed when better opportunities slip away. The NBA trade market is unforgiving, and teams that overvalue their own assets while undervaluing others often find themselves watching from the sidelines when deals get done. The Warriors appear to be heading down that exact path, clinging to outdated valuations while the rest of the league moves forward. What's your take on this wild trade proposal? Do you think the Warriors have completely lost touch with reality, or is there some angle we're missing? Share your thoughts below, and hit that like button if you enjoyed watching us break down one of the most delusional trade ideas of the season.